What is going on, guys? Rodney here with Crypto Bros. Welcome to today's video. We're going to be taking a look at Babb. Now, Babb has been getting a lot of hype lately. Seems to be a hot project out there, and it's brand new to the crypto world. So today, in our review, we're going to be doing kind of like a first look at the project. I didn't dump as much research into a video as I normally do because I kind of want that first reaction feel. And then also, it's a positive. You guys kind of can see some of the things that I do when I'm first initially kind of researching a token, whether I'm investing in it or making a video on it. So that being said, let's jump into today's video. If you guys haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, all you have to do is come over, hit the subscribe button. Just want to say how much I do appreciate all the likes, all the comments, all the subscriptions. Seriously, you guys are awesome, so thank you for that. Let's get into today's video. So here we are on getbabb.com, and it is the World Bank for the microeconomy. And they are a decentralized banking platform that leverages blockchain and biometrics to offer anyone in the world access to a UK bank account for a peer-to-peer financial services. Now, I will say I highly recommend just watching this video. It's like 5 minutes long, I think. It gives you a good idea of what they're trying to accomplish. But as I dove into this, the very first thing it reminded me of was the OMG project. They're out to kind of solve the same problem. Basically, they're saying, look, there's 7 billion people in the world. 2 billion of them don't have access to any type of banking platform, any type of financial services, anything to do with their money outside of like cash. So they're trying to bring that to the forefront so these people have some type of banking mechanisms. And what they're saying is like, look, everybody has cell phones, so if we can put these on mobile devices, all these people who don't have this, all these underdeveloped countries, will have access to some type of financial service. And as we scroll down here, it says bank account based blockchain. And this is actually where the BAB came from, bank account based blockchain. And it says our decentralized bank account, our decentralized banking platform will enable anyone to open a bank account and crowdsource financial services. So really what they have going on are like three kind of pillars to their project. The first one is the mobile app, which I find super interesting. We'll talk about that in a bit. The second one is their black card, which is basically like a card that will hold their BAX token, which is an ERC20 token, as well as fiat. And you can use that to purchase stuff at stores and online. Not a huge ordeal there. And the last thing that they have going on is their social KYC. If you guys don't know what KYC is, it stands for Know Your Customer. You have to fill these type of things out. If you're going to be doing like an ICO, kind of verifies who you are. And with their social KYC, it's basically saying, I can vouch for another person, saying that that is their actual identity. So that's kind of a neat concept. They're also doing some things with some centralized banks and their digital currencies. They've got a bunch of different things going on. But the first thing that we are going to look at is just kind of where they're coming from and some of their recent data. So we can see current price is still well under a penny. And really, this is a super brand new coin. It literally just hit CoinMarketCap on March 9th. And we really had about a month of just sideways trading, not much action here. Right around April, we'll say 7th, we started to see this huge uptick in this coin. And what's going to be interesting, we'll look at it in a minute, is how much this did jump. It's actually close to 600%. But before we do that, I'll show you guys where you can get this token. And I'll tell you right now, I don't have this at all yet. It just seems to be very, very popular, and I'll make some speculation calls on it in a second. But you can pick it up at IDEX, Bancor, Ether Delta, or DDEX. So you can check it out there. Obviously, their website, current rank 276, and current market cap $37 million. And we'll talk about their total supply and their circulating supply in just a second. In terms of what it's done, in the last 30 days, it's up 595%. Last 24 hours, up 5%. So a ton of growth from basically a month ago till now. And really what I think is interesting about that is most people, especially in this crypto space, understand you don't buy into rallies, you don't buy in as things are going up. But I think what's going to happen here is that because we see the price is still well under a penny and because the market cap is so small that and heading into the bull market, that we're going to see a lot more people, I think, when this starts to gain traction, kind of flood into this market based on the hype that is kind of surrounding the coin and the popularity. And we'll dive into all that into the project here in just a few. But I just think this super low price point, super low market cap is really going to help kind of project this coin, even though it's already up basically 600%. But obviously, we'll see. I think two notable things here is one, circulating supply, 14 billion, total supply, 50 billion. It kind of puts it in the same like context as like a Ripple, that peer-to-peer, very low priced but high transaction type of coin thing. So I think that would be like a comparable in terms of like the circulating and total supply. I think Ripple's is like 99 billion or something like that. I don't know off the top of my head, but checking out a couple, and I do this whether coins are ICOs or not. I'll always check out their ICO reviews, and you guys can check this out. I'll post all articles down below. So this one is from Crypto Rated. Basically, what they're saying here is, well, you can see it actually got a very low score, a 1.7 curve score on this, and a couple things that it states that lead it to this lower score is, one, they don't have an MVP or they don't have like an alpha product or anything anything released at this point. So they're working on that. The other thing that they say is that there's already existing man, I'm butchering this. There's already existing projects that are trying to accomplish the same thing. Bankera, Monaco, 10x, etc. So that's part of the reason their score is low. But then on the opposite side, they are saying it does have some unique features, aka they're connected to the UK bank. They're working with some decentralized banks. They've got this social KYC thing going, but in the long term, on the roadmap, they really don't have much in place. But we're going to look at that because they do have some things going with patents, and this will be a speculation play. But here's the thing. At such a low price point right now, people love that low priced coin where you can spend very little amount of money and end up having 10,000 of these or 100,000 or whatever. So we'll kind of see where this trends. But here's one rating where it basically says a 1.7. You can kind of see down here. We're not going to go through each one of these. 2.0 on the product, 2.8 use of blockchain, 2.2 on the white paper, etc. If we do go over to ICO Bench, though, they gave it a 3.7 out of 5, which is obviously much better than a 1.7. But, same type of concept, breaks down all the things, talks about their strengths and weaknesses. So it's worth checking these out. And again, I do this anytime I'm reviewing a coin, whether it's in ICO phase or it's out, just to see, what people were saying from a proactive measure. So anyway, the first thing that we are going to look at as we dive into their website is going to be their timeline. I'm sorry, their roadmap. And I think this is maybe one of the best snippets here to kind of conceptualize what they're trying to do. It says, Babb leverages blockchain and digital identity technologies to build borderless global networks in which everyone participates freely using their social connectivity to transact, trade, innovate, issue digital currencies, lend money, or raise funds for business ventures. Together, we will empower the world's microeconomy with the use of new tools and opportunities, helping accelerate global growth, creating wealth, encouraging entrepreneurship, unlocking human innovation, and lifting millions out of poverty. So, initially, and very similar to OMG, they are targeting underdeveloped countries, underdeveloped places, stuff where their people are still working, doing everything with cash, but yet have cell phones. So the roadmap is actually super interesting. Again, they don't have a product, and we'll get there, but you see they have some things in place that are very important. So the first thing to note, they've been around since January 2016. They applied for 2 patents early on, and that's opening a bank account using facial recognition biometrics, and opening bank account using voice recognition biometrics. This is part of like their app. This is like, and we'll actually get into this in a second, but you're going to be able to do that through the app and open that UK bank account. Then we see in April they got a seed funding of $1 million. Did some stuff with an incubator. Basically just said they moved to a different incubator. But then November 2016, biometrics tested, started MVP development and UX of the app design. And that can kind of be considered, maybe part of their MVP, just because that's a very important piece. Sometimes when projects are being dissected, they'll look at like the code. Like if the code is already in place for the product, that kind of counts as an asset towards it. So however you want to take that is up to you. Then December, they applied for a patent and it said prepaid bank account smart card. Okay, very cool. Breaking into 2017, financial model and business plan is set. They moved to a new office. They're still working on their MVP development. They filed application for 2 more pending patents, unique bank account-based blockchain technology, and microeconomic digital currency insurance and exchange protocol. Black card design concept is coming out, or came out towards the end of 2017, and now here we are in 2018, starting their pre-sale, token sale, and then originally their app launch is not, expected till November 2018. So we still have a long way away before they even get their initial app off the ground, and we'll look at that in just a second. What I do find super interesting here is they're going to have a second phase of token sale. I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, 50 billion tokens, or 50 billion tokens is obviously a lot, but I don't know how that works with, tokens already being out in circulation and on exchanges and whatnot. So we'll see how that goes down. But then releasing new features on the Babb app, and then implementing advanced social KYC and AI behavioral biometrics. So they have a long way to go in order to meet all their goals. And really, I mean, we're still 6 months away from their initial app launching. So anyway, next thing we're going to talk about here is this Babb app, because this is going to be the first thing they release. And really, aside from being able to have a UK-based bank account, this isn't anything like life-changing. You're able to send and receive money. You're able to do a couple different things in terms of peer-to-peer transactions, which really isn't out of the ordinary. But what I do find the most unique about this is they kind of have like this Uber system set up where you can basically search people in your area who are also on the app, and then you can exchange the Babb token for cash. So what you do is, like, you kind of see these heads floating around. You search something in the area like you would like an Uber vehicle. Someone would accept it. You pick the amount of money you have. You go meet them somewhere. They give you the cash. They accept the Babb token, the Babb. Keep putting a P on that. The Babb token in exchange, and it's all recorded on this app. So that's a super interesting concept. I don't know how well that would be in terms of adoption or how many people will use this. I don't even want to speculate on that. Maybe it blows up and people in these other, worldly areas are doing this type of thing on a regular basis. I don't know. The big thing for me whenever I look at any of these type of projects is what the adoption will be like, because that's always like the hardest part, is getting people on board and using these type of new technology. So I think this is super, super interesting. The other thing that we're going to actually talk about today is their black card, and this isn't anything necessarily groundbreaking, so we'll kind of buzz through here, but it says the black card bridges the divide between the digital world and the physical world. It is a secure payment card that links directly to your Babb bank account via a secure QR code or NFC tag. It allows both debit-like functionality. It can also be used as a prepaid card for your friends and family. So with that, it'll be very easy to get your own Babb black card. And then also, since there's none of your actual like physical data attached to this specific card, like if you lose it, you can like disconnect it and then be able to get a new one. So we're just, like I said, we're just going to buzz through this part really quick. It says retailers can accept payment using Babb cards simply by downloading the Babb app and scanning the QR code or NFC payment. That's fairly cool. Payment is made instantly to the retailer's bank account, and the funds can be used immediately. And then it's saying basically where you can use it, any type of shops or store that takes that. And then also you can use it online for online shopping or between peer-to-peer stuff. So fairly cool there, but nothing super crazy. We have cards that are coming out like that. I don't know necessarily about the security of each and every one of those, but I think this is kind of cool in regards to each one has their own QRC code. It can be scanned. So anyway, moving on to the team. I clicked through most of these guys and read their profiles here before I started shooting this, and I originally was going to kind of include them in there, but to go through 5 or 6 of them was taking up a ton of time, and I don't want this to be super long. These two guys, he has a lot of experience in terms of like fintech and startup and stuff like that. This guy's very well off in the financial sector. You know, he's done stuff like Bank of America, was a trader, managed hedge funds. Here's their CEO. You can check out him. If you click on it, it brings you to a new page, and there's a little write-up. If we go down to their advisors, all these guys also have, you know, somewhat experience in this kind of financial and or blockchain space. The thing that I want to point out here, though, is like, people are always looking for names like Microsoft, Apple, Google, Samsung. Like, not everyone is going to fall under that realm, and that doesn't always guarantee that they're going to be this fantastic person because they worked there. But that is often kind of speculated as what would be an all-star. So you guys can kind of decide what you want in terms of their team here. What sticks out to me the most is the size. So there's 10, I don't know. Well, I think I saw somewhere they have like 17 or 18 employees. But the thing is like they are a company that is actually working, that has an office. Like, I went and checked out some of their videos and stuff. You can see, I think this girl right here does like their marketing stuff. You know, they're in an office. They've got their stuff on the wall. There's people on desk. So this is a company. This isn't 5 dudes who are communicating over instant messenger who are trying to launch a project. This is a company that are paying people that have money. Again, you may think the project is very ambitious, and especially for not having an MVP, but there are some things going here. And you know, moving on, one thing I always like to check out is their Twitter and their Telegram. I like to see how many people are engaged, who are on board, who are following this. You know, so you know, we're at 78, almost 8,000 followers here on Twitter. Pretty good. Their Twitter's fairly active. And then if you check out their Telegram, we're not going to jump in the group, but over 13,000 members in their Telegram. So it also shows that there is some there is some community backing in here. There is some hype, and as of lately, you know, within the last week, it's been like this. Banca, some of these other projects have been getting a ton of hype, and this happens to be one of them. So it's totally up to you guys if you want to invest. Again, I'm not in on this. I think for under a penny at this point, you can actually have a very low risk buy. Again, this isn't necessarily financial advice. I'm not getting paid by these guys or anything, but I do just think it's very interesting. You know, if you wanted to jump in on something like this, you know, you could go in at $50, get a hardy share, and you know, if we're up 500% from the initial, but you know, if this gets to $1, even if it gets to 5 cents, like, you are doing super well on your investment. So something to think about there if you want to start up and fire up one of these exchanges if you haven't already. So yeah, guys, I think this has some things going for them. I think it is ambitious, and I worry about stuff in terms of adoption, but I think overall, like, you know, for this type of project, especially if we look at like a, I think I might have this open. If we look at like a Ripple and where their market cap is, and you know, an OMG and where their market cap is, you know, we can kind of make some comparisons on where this is. And at $37 million, I think this is easily, you know, 100 million, 200 million, 500 million. Like, this can do this. It's very early out of the stages. It's already catching good hype. What we know about hype is that it does a lot for these projects. Like, you know, everyone knows the term shit coins because they're not that great of projects, yet their price action does very well. And so I'm not saying this is a shit coin by any means, but the point that I'm trying to make is it doesn't have to be the best project in the entire world to do very well in terms of an investment standpoint. So think about it. Again, it is up 600%, but you know, for a very small investment, you can get a lot, and there could be a good upside. So depending on how you want to play that, totally up to you. But that is all I have for you guys this evening. I know I butchered some of these statements in here, but just want to say thank you guys for watching. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, by all means, I would love to have you. Toss me a like if you're appreciating what we got going on. You guys have a great night. I will catch you later.